The San Dieguito River Valley extends to the sea near Del Mar, California. Once supporting wetlands covering 1,000 acres, the coastal valley has been heavily developed over the years. Southern California Edison, in partnership with the San Dieguito River Park Joint Powers Authority, are working together, restoring the San Dieguito wetlands. The project will involve creation or enhancement of 440 acres of wetland, including nesting sites for the endangered least tern, and establishing a network of public trails and a visitor center. A cornerstone of the project is to remove the sand that has plugged the river channel and keep the tidal inlet open. About 125,000 cubic yards of sand will be removed from the channel. Some of this sand may be used to surface the least tern nesting sites, and the remainder will be placed on the nearby beach. The subtidal habitat created in the channel is important to the many fish species which will travel between the ocean and the restored wetlands. Many shorebirds also depend on this habitat as they feed on the fish and shellfish that will become established in the channel. The sand dredged from the channel will be transported wholly within the channel itself to its resting place. This will avoid the need for many thousands of heavy-haul truckloads through the city streets. Wetland birds such as the snowy egret and black-necked stilt are common residents of this subtidal channel habitat. Mullets are among the fish commonly seen in the channel. This broad upland area, which once supported an airfield, will be transformed into a large, shallow subtidal basin. This basin will provide habitat for fish reproduction and development, as well as for many wetland bird species that depend upon the fish. Some of the material excavated from this area will be used to build nesting sites for the California least tern. The nesting areas will be topped off with white sand excavated from within the project area. Along the river, an upland area will be lowered to create tidal marshland. Material excavated from the subtidal basin area will be used to build a low berm separating the basin from the river, as well as another tern nesting site. This berm and others in the project area will protect the basin from being infilled by sediment carried by occasional river floods. The sediment will instead be carried to the river mouth to nourish the sandy beaches. The tidal marshland here will be populated by a variety of wetland plants. It is hoped that eventually this habitat will attract the rare and endangered clapper rail. East of the freeway, the land south of the river will be lowered to create additional tidal marsh. As in other areas, excavated materials will be used to build tern nesting areas. Across the river, a large area of shallow tidal, flat, and marsh habitat will be created. Material from this excavation will be used to raise upland areas along Via de la Valle, where the River Park Visitor Center will eventually be located. The upland areas will also host terrestrial animals such as the burrowing owl, cottontail rabbit, and various reptiles. Material from the marsh excavation will also be used to build another river berm. Again, the berm will keep the flood sediment from filling the marsh area, but allow the flood and tide waters to nourish the marsh vegetation. The river will deliver sediment to the river mouth to naturally nourish the beaches. In this area and beyond, the River Park's multi-purpose trail will follow the marsh shoreline, punctuated by a number of interpretive wildlife viewing platforms. Construction of the restoration project will begin in 2005 and last 2 to 3 years. Within 3 years of the end of construction, restored areas should be fully vegetated, and a productive wetland complex will be thriving. The San Dieguito Wetlands restoration will be a magnificent addition to the greater River Park, providing natural habitat, open space, and recreational opportunities for the local and regional communities.